Okay, there we go. What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
Trying this one final time here. Welcome to The Leap. I'm Steve Lucas.
I'm Tim Hughes.
And yeah, I guess fourth time's a fucking charm
Jeez.
here. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. I can't even with this right now. I guess fourth time's a fucking even have that catching in there. Yeah, you see?
Okay.
Having to make sure we catch an audio. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Oh.
Well, the biggest elephant in the room.
Yeah, that we've talked about a few times.
Yeah,
and we're going to talk
already.
about again.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey.
IR.
On IR again.
Again. And again.
And again. He cannot stay healthy.
Not at all.
Like, not even a little bit. And frankly, it is fucking embarrassing.
Well, it is. I mean, for him, I'm sure it's very embarrassing.
I feel bad for the guy.
I do too,
I
because he's
do.
a great player.
He's an amazing player. But like you were saying before, and like I said, we've talked about this already a bunch of times already. You know, anybody who in fantasy has had the number 1, number 2, number 3 pick, their season's gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
screwed. There's nothing you can do about it.
And I think it says a lot that most of the players, in fantasy and otherwise, have not gone unscathed this year. There have been so many injuries
yeah,
on every team, like multiple injuries per week.
right. No, you're right, and it just sucks because like the part of this like, with Christian McCaffrey that pisses me off the most, I think, that we were talking about is how everybody was so sold on him.
Oh yeah,
Like, whenever I heard all of these analysts going ahead and hopping on this dude's dick, being like, this is the guy. This is the guy that is going to be clean cut, number 1 pick in every single fantasy draft. Do not take anybody else in this position. And I swear to God, dude, if we go into next season and these guys are on this dude again, I'm going to fucking throw something. I am. I'm going to fucking throw something. I'm going to snap because this is ridiculous.
yeah.
It is absolutely ridiculous. Like I would say before, I'm going to say it right here. Do not, under any circumstances, guys, take this fucking dude. In fantasy, he is not worth it. He is not worth a number 1 pick. He is not worth a first round pick right now. In my opinion, he is not worth anything until the 5th round at least.
Oh yeah.
Don't put your faith in a guy who can't keep his legs under him. I don't give a shit if he has 2,000 rushing yards, 20 total touchdowns next year. He's not worth it.
You can't trust it.
You can't
because-
trust it. And it's a shame because
Yeah.
you should be able to trust this guy.
Oh yeah, completely.
He is a guy that when it comes to straight up talent level, he is a top 3.
Oh yeah,
But-
when he's playing, but when
What-
he isn't playing, you know what he is? Nothing.
Yeah, he is absolutely nothing. He is taking up a spot on your team
Yeah.
that otherwise could be going to somebody who's actually going to stay healthy throughout the year.
He's taking up the air you are breathing.
Really?
He's an enemy of the state.
I mean, honestly, though, and it's a fucking shame. Oh, I hate the fact we lost the 2 viewers right there. Hopefully those people will make their way back. But anyway, I digress. But, like, yeah, like, it's kind of a shame that guys, like, you see, like, people who took Derrick Henry, you know, that was kind of a fluke because he, like you said before, he missed 1 game in the last 3 years up until this point.
Yep.
He has been as consistent can be.
Oh yeah.
You got Dalvin Cook, who I honestly expected to spend the majority of his season on IR.
Yeah, I
And-
wouldn't have taken Dalvin Cook.
No, neither would I. I mean, if I had the number 1, I would have taken Derrick Henry straight up. Boom. Like, and
Yeah.
the thing is that I know a lot of people weren't expecting Derrick Henry to go as high as it was. They were expecting him to be a lower end first rounder, and it's
Which
like,
is ridiculous. Look at the season he had last year. What?
You know you want to know an interesting stat about fucking Derrick Henry right now? Is that even though he has been out for a certain amount of weeks, he is still number 2 in rushing stats for the entire year.
That's
the
insane.
only guy who is ahead of him right now is Jonathan Taylor.
That's crazy.
Right.
And I mean, Taylor's missed what, one game this season?
Yeah, I think it was earlier in the year he missed a game.
But I mean, the thing is that tells you how good Derrick Henry would be if he was still playing. I mean, jeez, he would have broken every record, I think, or close.
Oh yeah, no, dude, Dickerson's record would have been toasted, absolutely smashed. And the crazy thing is I know people were trying to say like, oh well, you know, you guys are giving him an extra game to do it. He wouldn't have needed it.
Oh, no.
He wouldn't have needed it. You guys could have kept it at the 16-game format, and he still would have beaten the fucking brakes off that record.
Definitely.
It wouldn't have mattered. And that... I mean... So basically, yeah, like, for all you guys that don't already know, McCaffrey's on IR again. Pretty much just avoid the shit out of it.
And then Dalvin Cook got injured again.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's gone for a while. Alvin Kamara's out for a little bit. I'm not entirely sure how long.
Is Kyler coming back this week?
I think he is.
Okay.
They are. I know that they were expecting Kyler to come back here soon. I think they were just kind of, as far as I understand, he's been ready to come back for a little bit now, but the doctors are just being precautious because they still have the number 1 seed. They want their guy to be healthy for the playoffs, which is important. It's like, you know what? I get it. I get that. That makes total sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about another, in my opinion, that's kind of a weird little elephant down there in Dallas. Is it time for the Cowboys to move on from Ezekiel Elliott?
You know, I think you could be onto something there because, I mean, Tony Pollard's been doing great.
Tony Pollard's been doing amazing.
You know, so... Granted, I mean, by having Zeke there, they have depth that they probably wouldn't normally have, you know, if they get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's going to be teams that would take the contract. I mean, because he's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that might be something. Oh, by the way, Mike McCarthy has COVID.
McCarthy got COVID?
Yeah, he's got COVID.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything on that one.
Yeah.
Well, damn, okay. Well, hey, you know what? They can go ahead and have Quinn or Moore go ahead and run that team. And
actually, it's Quinn.
It's going to be Quinn. It should be Quinn, in my opinion.
Quinn the Eskimo.
Okay. I was going to say, like, I could see it being Quinn. Quinn's got more experience than Kellen Moore does, but...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and Quinn's been there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He's been in that seat before, so, like, that makes sense. But, like, yeah, I feel like you said, man, Tony Pollard's doing better. Zeke is basically... Zeke, like we were talking about this earlier in the year, man. Zeke has done... This is that make or break year for Zeke.
Oh, yeah.
And in my opinion, he has not produced on a level that would, if I was Jerry and if I was McCarthy, I was anybody in that fucking organization, like, and I would even have to look over at Dak and being like, hey, bro, I'm sorry. I know this is your boy, but we got to move on. We need somebody that can be here consistently every single week, no matter what. We have a good offensive line. We have overall very good offense. There is no reason whatsoever why we should be having a running back here who is not going to produce for us at all.
It looked like he was going to this season, and then he just trailed off again.
Yeah, just poof, gone, like a fart in the wind. Like, he's just... And it sucks, because, like, I was hoping, especially with seeing how good a shape he was in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, I was like, man, dude, he is in great shape. He's going to come back, hopefully have himself a nice year. And
No.
I'm just not seeing it, man. Like, he's only had a couple of games where he's had stats that are even remotely close to what somebody of that caliber of player is supposed to be putting up.
I have him on one of my fantasy teams, and
I know you got him in our league.
Oh. Yeah.
And
he hasn't done much, that's for sure.
He hasn't hardly done anything.
No.
And, like, I think that honestly, if I was Jerry, if I was one of the guys over there in Dallas, honestly, I would be trying, after this season, to move Zeke while he still has some value. Because that value isn't going to be sitting around for much longer.
Oh, no, definitely.
And get what you can while you can, you know what I mean? Like, and hell, I'm not even saying Tony Pollard's the answer.
No.
Tony Pollard just happens to be...
Okay, so far Zeke has 160 attempts, 720 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Seriously?
Yeah.
He has that much already?
So, but...
Yeah, go to the game log. Let's go ahead and look at the real story here.
See, like, between 2 and 5, he was doing really
that's
well.
it. It was at the beginning of the year. He was having a great freaking year, and then he started faltering off.
Yeah. Because here, I mean, he's down to, like, 7 points, 9 points.
Well, also look at the stuff here. Okay, so he had a touchdown against the Chargers. He had 2 against Philly.
One against Carolina.
One against Carolina, and then one against the Giants. And then he got 2 against Atlanta. So the bulk of your production is coming in
from teams that aren't very good.
Right, the only team that has a good defense there that I saw was the Chargers.
Yeah, but now look at this. In fantasy, he's ranked 5th. That's kind of weird. I don't.
You see no. See these are the same people that are going to go ahead and say. The people who go ahead and say that are the same fucking dipshits that are going ahead and saying that Christian McCaffrey is going to be a number one pick next year. Stop it.
Yep.
Okay? Don't listen to those fucking people, okay? Yeah.
And if you're in our league, take Christian McCaffrey in the first round. You'll do us all a favor.
Jesus Christ. I swear to God, man, like, whoever takes Christian McCaffrey next year, you know what? I honestly wouldn't be shocked if it was... You know what? You know what, guys? One of the, like, 3 or 4 motherfuckers who refuses to set their fucking lineups and make things more difficult for everybody else, you guys go ahead and take Christian McCaffrey. You can have him. Hell, I'm the commish. I'll fucking go ahead and force trade that shit. I can't really do that, but like, it'd be nice if I could and be like, no, you can have him because you're not going to do a fucking thing anyway. You're a goddamn bench warmer. Fucking
bottom feeders.
You know, you're a seat filler at the ESPYs. All right, it's fucking embarrassing. Like, but yeah, no, like, well, hell, even if he has those types of numbers. Like, the thing is that he has those types of numbers and he is still throwing that level of doubt. Like, because to me, I see, okay, cool, he's had a few games where he's done good. Otherwise, in my opinion, I don't... Like, considering what he should be doing, considering what they say is supposed to be top-level running back, like, okay, great, he might have 1,000-some yards this year with... Probably is going to be double-digit touchdowns.
10, 11, probably.
Yeah, probably. That, to me, not enough.
No.
It's not enough. Like, to me, like, I expected more out of him because, like, they kept saying Zeke is supposed to be that top. And it's like, well, guess what, dude? He ain't putting up what Christian McCaffrey can put out when he's on the field.
13 or 1,500 yards, you know, was what I was hoping.
That would have been dope.
Yeah. And like 15 touchdowns. That would have been pretty cool. But yeah, it's not going to happen this year.
No, it's not, and I don't see it happening. And honestly, I don't see that type of that type of production from him ever again.
No, I don't.
I just don't.
Think so.
Like, he has gone from he started off being one of the absolute best that our league had to offer, and now he is middle of the pack.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like the fact that he is in that high-powered offense has such a huge part to play in, like, that's kind of why I feel like his numbers aren't good enough, because that Cowboys offense puts up a lot of points.
Oh yeah.
You know,
he should be getting a lot more points.
You should be getting a shit ton more.
Yeah.
Like, way more than he freaking is right now. But I digress. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here. The Rams.
What's going on with the Rams?
What is going on with the Rams? Okay,
Started out 7-1.
yeah, now they're 7-4. Okay, Los Angeles has lost their last 3 games, and here is a really interesting topic. Matthew Stafford, and this is something that this sounds like a stat that you would see Jay Cutler fucking having, or like a Rex Grossman or some shit like that. 3 consecutive games with a pick six.
That's insane.
Right. That is absolutely fucking despicable.
Oh yeah,
like,
completely.
Like, what is happening with the Rams right now? Like, what is happening with them? Like, they
Kind of imploding, it seems. You know, they're just.
It seems like they started off so strong, and then now they can't find their stride.
What worked so well for them in the beginning isn't working anymore at this point.
I think people have seen what it is that they're doing, and they're just not going to let them get away with it.
Right.
And the thing is like McVay, who's supposed to be this amazing offensive genius, is kind of sputtering right now. It seems like he's been exposed here in these last few games. And, you know, mind you, I expected the Packers were going to win. But, like, I honestly figured that LA was going to be the team to beat this year. I figured they were going to go out and beat the brakes off of everybody, because on paper they are pretty much one of the most talented teams in the league.
I thought so too.
You know,
I mean, even getting Miller and getting what's his name?
Odell.
Beckham.
Odell had a good week though last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had. I think he had 8 receptions for almost 80 yards, and he had a touchdown. Yeah,
that isn't too bad.
Yeah, no, it seems like Odell is fitting in well.
Okay.
Well, I think it's kind of funny when they had that first game and he kind of was like off, and the chemistry between him and Stafford was kind of like it wasn't there yet. And It's like, well, you can't expect a guy to come in halfway through the year and immediately have chemistry with the quarterback.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, it doesn't work that way, dude. You need to spend some time, and it seems like they're starting to catch up. He's starting to catch up quick.
Oh, that's
good. Honestly, when it came to that, what the hell were these guys expecting him to do?
Well, yeah.
Were they expecting him to come out and, catch for 150, have 10 catches for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns? Every single one of them being a crazy one-hander? No. That's not
that one-hander was kind of sick, though.
You know what? Yeah, all of his one-handers are pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. But, that's not how this works.
No.
That's not how any of
this
not
Madden.
Works. It's not Madden. Okay, you can't insta-trade and then go ahead, force that shit, and then send him on fucking fly routes the entire time where you just throw it deep for 80 yards and you hope that you can get that aggressive catch and fucking force the play. It's not how this works, dude. These guys are playing, Odell is a professional, but the guys that they are playing against are also professionals.
Right, exactly.
They're there for a reason, yo.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Luke. How's it going, buddy? So, yeah, LA, the Rams need to clean this shit up.
Oh,
Like they do, because if they're gonna have any bit of a if they're gonna have any chance in the playoffs, they need to do something.
anything to try to jumpstart their offense, because I think it's more their offense than anything.
Well, yeah, their offense has been sputtering at times. I mean, Stafford, it kind of depends on the week on whether or not he's gonna have a good week. I mean, and on the game against the Packers is the only one that I will give them the mulligan on because the Packers are no joke right now.
Well, and he still threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think he had 1 interception, and there was another one he should have had an interception on, I think. Wasn't it like Savage dropped one or something?
I think Savage did drop one.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to really watch it, but I mean,
either.
the part of it that really kind of throws me off is 3 consecutive games with a pick six.
Yeah, that's the
that
kind of
like to
glaring-
me, it's like, dude, you got all the you could throw for all the yards, man, and all of the touchdowns.
That's
and
7 points.
That's
right there.
That is and that's not just an on him stat. That's an
On the Rams.
on the entire team right there.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
because not only did he throw a pick, but like nobody, not a single player on that offense was able to go ahead and tackle that guy.
Yep.
Like, come on,
Maybe
dude.
they got to work on tackling drills. You know,
You know what? They should. They should be going
Yeah.
ahead. You know what? If I was McVay, I would be taking that entire Rams offense and being like, okay, well, apparently, since you guys can't stop the fucking ball carrier after Matt throws one, you guys are going through tackling drills the entire week. I'm going to make sure that you guys tackle as good as Aaron Donald and basically just have Aaron Donald be like,
I'll
run
show
'em.
you how to do it.
run them. Run those boys into the fucking ground,
Yep.
please.
Yeah.
Like, and... they need
It's
to clean that shit up.
embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
It's fucking embarrassing. It is absolutely fucking despicable. I can't with it. And I think it's kind of crazy that the Rams, if they continue to falter, they'll be lucky if they even make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and right now they're the number 1 wild card team. But with what's going on for the rest of the year, that can change very quickly.
Oh, definitely.
Let's go ahead and dive in to the next topic here. Now, this one is probably one that I think is probably going to go ahead for a moment. Not a moment. It's going to go for a few minutes here, I think. Urban Meyer. Is he going to go back to college after this season? Okay, looking at the Notre Dame job opening up, Notre Dame's coach going to LSU. And then, I'm forgetting the guy's name, but the coach of Oklahoma. I don't know if you heard about this part. The coach of Oklahoma, like, Oklahoma is in shambles right now.
Really?
Yeah, their coach left. And he took, like, his entire staff with him.
Oh, did he
Yeah,
really?
because he went and took the job at USC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and apparently...
Wow.
Apparently, the reason why they're all pissed off about it is because he said straight up, he's like, I am the coach of Oklahoma. I am staying in Oklahoma.
And then he left.
And then he left.
Oh, my God.
Like 2 days later,
Subterfuge.
just fucking grabs his entire staff and was just like,
See you later.
like, peace, guys. I'm out. Like,
I fooled you.
I'm so fucking shocked at this.
That's so crazy.
And like, I don't know the dude, but like, I think it's fucking hilarious because apparently people are hanging up signs in Oklahoma right now saying traitor and everything else, and it's kind of like, it's a big old fucking thing because now this dude and his entire staff are now in Los Angeles instead of bumfuck Oklahoma. Which, to me, I'm just kind of like, okay, I know Oklahoma is a big football school, but like, if I had my choice of
USC.
going to coach USC or going to coach Oklahoma, I would go.
Yeah,
I would.
well, yeah.
Why would, like, are you kidding me?
I mean, the weather is not very good in Oklahoma.
Dude, no. Okay. all Oklahoma really is Texas with fewer teeth. Like, whoa, hold on here. No, we're talking about Oklahoma, not Alabama.
Oh,
all right, sorry, just every time I hear the banjos, I just think Sweet Home Alabama. Going in, or either that or like some fucking
Deliverance.
Arkansas. Yeah, Deliverance is what I was thinking, like some Mississippi, Arkansas type shit. Like, but
all the people in Oklahoma, I wasn't saying that you were.
yeah, and the people in Arkansas and Mississippi, I mean, no disrespect. If you're in Alabama, though, you can go fuck yourself.
Well, hell yeah. Or Texas.
Well, depending on where you're at in Texas.
Yeah.
If you're like in the Austin, maybe Houston-ish area,
You're okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're going ahead and you're in one of those Dust Bowl areas,
Yeah, like Guadalajara.
you can go jack off into your fucking gun stash and leave us alone.
Actually, Guadalajara is in New Mexico. I kind of screwed that up.
Is it? Oh, yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead. Staying on topic here. There are two top-end coaching jobs available for Urban Meyer to scoop up here. And looking at how Urban Meyer is coaching this year,
Maybe you should. It's kind of like the Steve Spurrier kind of. Spurrier didn't do well in the NFL.
no, he didn't. Looking at like Pete Carroll, his first time around. I mean, obviously his second time around. Currently, he's done.
He's
He's
pretty
done.
good.
He's done well. I mean, he's went to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So like, can't deny that. But here's the thing. Like, Urban Meyer with the Jags. Like, the Jags on paper are a much better team than their record lets on.
True.
I hate to say it. Like, I had a feeling that Trevor Lawrence was going to struggle this year. Probably make some mistakes. Welcome to the league, Rook. That happens. But you supposedly have this really good rushing attack. You have good receivers. You got a fair O-line. And you got some guys on defense there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Jacksonville defense isn't like, I wouldn't say they're a top-notch defense, but they have enough guys to keep them in games.
They're kind of middle of the road, I think.
I figure they're more of a middle-of-the-road team, and they are 2-7 right now.
Yeah.
Or not 2-7, 2-11. Sorry, some shit like that. They've only won 2 fucking games. So, and to me, it seems like Urban Meyer, he's not here to try to win football games in a pro organization. Obviously, Urban Meyer has made it very, very abundantly clear that he is in it for the pussy in the party. That's it. That's what he's in. I am not wrong, okay?
No.
What happened in his fucking nightclub with him and that young girl proves that he is not in this for the right reasons.
No, exactly.
Okay, he's not in this in the same reason that Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, Mike Tomlin, hell, even Bill Belichick is in this league for. He's in it for the money and the pussy and the fucking party. That's it. You want that, dude? Get your ass back down to fucking college.
Oh, yeah, because you can get it all day long.
Go ahead, okay? Shit, especially, like, and what's crazy, though, is, like, I'm not sure how Oklahoma is when it comes to being a party school. I'm pretty sure, though, Notre Dame is going to, like, tighten that leash a little bit with them being a, more of a, like them being, like, a Catholic school and whatnot. But, like, honestly, like, go back to coaching fucking Florida or Ohio State even. You know what I mean? Like, go spiral in one of those places. Don't drag an NFL franchise down with you because you have no fucking clue what it is that you're doing.
Not very much, no. It's like he didn't utilize Robinson earlier in the year at all. First 3 games, 4 games even, he didn't use him hardly at all.
Well,
I mean,
one of the things that I saw was he was trying to run
Hyde.
Well, not just no. He was trying to like run these weird little schemes where it goes through Trevor, where Trevor's having to throw a lot. and hardly really running the ball even, I've noticed sometimes. And like that's not how you should be running, and especially with a rookie QB, dude. Like, if you got a rookie QB, it's like, okay, guess what? We're going to hand that ball off probably 30, 40 times a game to take the pressure off of him. Yep. You know, so then that way, you know, and we're going to run the ball 30 to 40 times. We're going to have you throw the ball maybe 20 to 30 times most. So that way, it takes the pressure off you, and then when you do go to throw that ball, you're going to have a better opportunity at getting at something.
Right.
You know? And Urban Meyer's just not doing that. He's basically running. I saw a lot of stuff that I saw him run when he was at Ohio State.
He's running those kind of plays?
I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of fucking triple stacks on the one side with a tight end lined up on the other. Random fucking weird double running back motion plays that are actually working out as screens. I've seen some really weird stuff, and people aren't really mentioning that. And he doesn't run them a lot. It's like maybe once a series, like maybe once every up to 8 plays, you know. Usually 8 to 10 plays is an average series, unless you're just a straight 3-and-out team, which the Jaguars aren't exactly that. He's running one of those types of plays. I'm sorry, dude, but unless you don't run a fucking 3-stack on one end unless you're running a Hail Mary.
Oh yeah, I mean, why would you?
Yeah, like what are you doing? Like what? So what the fuck is this? Varsity Blues running an oopty fucking oop? Like what the fuck are you doing up there, Urban? Stop doing that shit. Get that fucking bullshit the fuck out of the league. Like I
think every play should be a Statue of Liberty play. Maybe a flea flicker.
Well, you know what? It might be better than what the fuck they're doing right now. You know what I mean?
You don't really see anybody do the Statue of Liberty play anymore.
No, not so much.
No.
I mean, and that's all right. Like,
I guess that was, you know, it had its moment. You know, it had its.
Well, it wasn't one of those. It wasn't the type of play that needed to be ran like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like. Where do you think Urban's going to end up here? Like, looking at it from Notre Dame into Oklahoma, like, and mind you, the Oklahoma thing, I don't know. Like, everybody's trying to say he's going to go to Notre Dame.
That makes sense. That would make sense, actually. And, I mean, look at Jim Harbaugh. You know, he went to Minnesota. I almost said Michigan, not Minnesota. Lord.
You know that Michigan went and beat Ohio State?
I saw that. That was good.
Did you see that they almost got in a fight at in the tunnel at halftime?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Over there at the Big House, yeah. Apparently, I saw a video of it. I guess the entire Michigan team, they were following behind, and they had people, like, trying to separate it. But I guess when Ohio State was trying to go into the locker room, Michigan was up at that point. I guess the entire Michigan team was all like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking pussy. They're talking all sorts of shit. And there was a few of those Ohio State players who wanted to jump. And it's like, you see like 5 or 6 freaking Ohio State players there trying to stand there talking shit. And you see fucking 50-some Michigan players being like, come on, bring it. Come on, dude. We will beat the fuck out of you guys. And I'm kind of like, I'm not a huge fan of Michigan, but I hate Ohio State.
Even more.
And if that would have happened,
that would have been awesome.
That would have been amazing. Like, good. Fuck Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I've always
hated... And it's not everybody in Ohio. It's just Ohio State.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's nothing personal against the players that go to play there. You have a chance to play for a top team. For me, it's fuck that organization because they're the Alabama of the North.
Right.
Okay? You guys, like, I'm sorry, but you guys get handed fucking everything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Whenever I go ahead and see an actually better team get an opportunity to beat you, that makes me happy. You know, because Michigan is a great team. They have a great team.
Oh, yeah.
But also, it's like, I'm not sure what the current rankings are, actually. Let me go ahead and take a look at this. Because I really highly doubt that they're going to take them out of there.
No.
They're not going to take Ohio State out of there.
Nope. Not going to happen.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look here.
I think.
If this thing ever fucking loads.
Well, it's this basement.
Well, I'm running off the...
Oh, you're...
Okay.
That went a little bit too far.
So... Oh, okay, so they did drop. So right now, yeah, Georgia is number 1. Michigan is at the number 2. Cincy at the 3. Alabama at 4. And then Ohio State dropped to 7th.
Yes.
So, yeah, that makes me happy. Wow, and my boys from Penn State are no longer even in the top 25. That
really?
Kind of sucks. Yeah,
Oh,
they've faltered. They lost to a lot of good teams. Like if I remember, I can't remember Penn State's total record, but I remember they've lost a lot. Well, not like a lot, but like definitely enough to keep them out of there. But yeah, like so. Okay, I'm. Part of me hopes that Michigan is able to finish winning out. So then that way, they don't try to find a reason to fucking sneak Ohio State in there. Well, you see, I've seen that happen. I've seen, and I know this is completely off topic. I know we were originally talking about Urban Meyer, but this kind of makes sense into the whole Urban Meyer thing because Urban Meyer was the goddamn coach when this shit happened.
Oh, yeah.
You remember during the pandemic? During the beginning of the pandemic, when it came to football and everything, a lot of these guys were playing in these really isolated positions and everything like that. I remember they had a rule that you could not qualify for any championship game, any playoff game, or anything, or even a bowl game if you did not play 6 games.
Really?
Yep. That was the thing. You had to play a minimum of 6 games, and Ohio State was plagued with people being sick with COVID left and fucking right.
Oh, my God.
Now, mind you, they had a good record. They played 5 games, and they went 5-0. But they put them in the playoff anyway, and they put them in the Big Ten championship. The committee placed them in there.
Oh, my God.
And I remember I was talking to this dude I went to high school with. He is a gigantic fan of Ohio sports. Okay, so, he's an Indians fan. Well, I guess Guardians fan now. I didn't like the name change.
I don't
thought
like
the name
it
change
either.
was stupid. Not by changing, like, they want to change the name away from the Indians. That's fine. But, like, I just thought the Guardians was a really stupid name change. But I digress. Big Cleveland Browns fan. He likes the Cavs. Huge Ohio State fan. I'll admit, when I saw them get placed there above other teams that had played more games, put together a better resume, and I was pissed about it. And he's like, well, think about it like this. You have a team that is better, and you want to put the best teams in there in order to have people watch. And, people are going to want to watch Ohio State play them like nobody outside of you in Pennsylvania and the people of Ohio want to see Ohio State there. Nobody. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not wrong by this. Ohio State is the second most hated team out of all college sports very closely behind Alabama. Mind you, Alabama, they played through the games that they needed to play, made it in legitimately. The other teams that were there, Clemson, made it in there legitimately. Notre Dame that year made it legitimately.
Oh, wow.
Ohio State was the only team that did not meet the qualifications.
Really?
And Ohio State was the only team that they broke those rules for.
Oh, that's kind
they
of
didn't,
wrong.
and nobody else they were willing to break those rules for. It was only Ohio State, and that shit pissed me off. Like it still pisses me off to this day, and it shows the bias bullshit that is like the college football playoff right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, like it's absolutely insane. So it's kind of like, but anyway, I digress. Totally fucking off topic there on that rant. Holy shit, dude. Well, I mean,
I don't think it was a big,
well, it was a tirade a little bit, but like, fuck Ohio State. I'd rather. I mean, hey, if there's gonna be any Big Ten team making it into the college football playoff, I'd rather it be fucking Michigan than Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
Hell, I would have been happy if Michigan State would have made it in, and you know how much I hate Michigan State.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the Spartans. But yeah, I think he's gonna end up probably in Notre Dame next year. I think the big thing is whether or not he's actually gonna. Because, like, honestly, if I was the Cons, I'd let him go.
Yeah.
At the end of this year, I'd be like, listen, man, we gave you everything to succeed here, and I don't want to waste another year trying to see if you could figure this out.
Right.
When there are other people who have the experience that'll actually do better here for us.
Oh, exactly.
Like, let him go back to college. He can go ahead and that's clearly the environment that he is built for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Final topic I have here for the opener. And this is one that I'm actually really shocked we're even going to be able to have this conversation, and I never thought that this would happen.
When's that?
Are the Bengals finally the real deal?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they're definitely better. I mean, they've made a lot of improvements on their offensive line, and their defense is a lot better than last year. Obviously, getting Jamar Chase only makes that wide receiving crew better,
Well, I think the big thing is whether or not they're truthfully playoff ready. Are
Yeah.
they going to break that stigma and finally get that playoff win that they have been alluded
I kind of
to?
hope so, because I like the Bengals. They're like a team that, you root for because they're usually not very good.
Right.
I mean,
they're a team that I want. They are definitely the team this year that I want to see. They're kind of like the underdog. They're the true underdogs of like all of these quote unquote good teams in the NFL this year, and they're a team that I'm kind of low key rooting for right now.
Oh, me too.
Because
definitely.
Joe Burrow is having a great year.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly an honorable mention for the MVP because he has been playing fantastic.
Either that or comeback player of the year.
Definitely a comeback player of the year candidate. Jamar Chase is probably going to end up. He's one of the top guys for rookie of the year. Their defense is playing extremely well. They have a top 5 defense.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Their coaching is doing really well. Like, this is a team that, like, I don't know if this year they're gonna. Like, this year, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. Whether or not they win their division is still yet to be seen. They have to be able to get past the Ravens here at the end. But I'm just kind of looking at, like, are these guys going to be... Is this the group of people that's going to finally break that playoff stigma? Because, like, there's been a lot of good teams there. A lot of good Bengals teams over the last, let's say, 15 years. Even when Andy Dalton was there, with Ocho Cinco and Hushmanzada.
TJ Hushmanzada!
Right? Cedric Benson when he was actually still playing good.
Cedric Benson.
Like...
And Hedges.
Right? Like, but they were never able to get that playoff win.
No.
I want this to be the year.
If they got to the second round of the playoffs, I would be happy with it. I would consider it a good season. Because they haven't been,
Well, they haven't even been to the playoffs in a while.
Probably 7-8 years, maybe.
Right. Like, if they make it to the playoffs, I'd say that's a successful season.
Oh, completely.
If they get a win in the playoffs and they finally break that streak,
then next year...
Then that is huge for them.
Oh, yeah. Because then next year, they could build on that and get even a better team.
Right. They could throw some more behind that defense. Because, like, if they go ahead and they show that they're a playoff team and they're a team that can win in the playoffs,
Oh, you know they're going to
free
be throwing
agents
some
are going to
money.
be like, I might actually consider going over here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Because Cincinnati's no longer the laughing stock.
right, they're no longer the laughing stock of the NFL. Like you know, like there are other teams that are obviously were worse than the Bengals during that tough stretch for
Right.
the Bengals,
The Jets.
the Jets, the Lions.
Yeah.
You know, Houston beginning to falter. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, it's nice to. I think this kind of goes to the whole changing of the guard here in the NFL. You know, there's a lot of these guys that over the last 20 years have kind of left, you know. They're really outside of it. The only guys from that period of time that are still in is, well, Brady, Roethlisberger, Rodgers. Mm-hmm. That's really about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you can throw Matt Ryan in there.
A little bit here and there.
You know, but, well, it's just the fact that he's still in the league and everything.
Right.
Like, there's those guys, but otherwise, like, this new guard is here, and they're here to stay, and, like...
And they're, you know, the thing is that's the way it should be. Because the only way the NFL is going to thrive is if they have young blood in there. Mm-hmm. You know? Because otherwise, it's just going to be stale, and plus you don't want to see a 50-year-old Ben Roethlisberger trying to throw in his hover round.
Well, hell, he's fucking 38 years old, and he can't fucking do it. But
Yeah.
also, it's like, goes to the thing of, like, you know, I want to see these young bucks go ahead and finally fucking go ahead and knock Brady off of his goddamn pedestal. Go
That
ahead
would
and
be
send
good.
his geriatric ass into
Yeah.
retirement finally. You know, but, like, that's the thing. It's like when you see these guys like Allen, Dak, Mahomes, you even see guys like Burrow, Kyler, Herbert, you know, you're seeing this new guard of quarterbacks and like what these teams are able to do. Like the Chargers have finally got a good team.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas is finally starting to like actually get their fucking swagger, you know. The Bills might actually make a Super Bowl for the first time since the 90s. Maybe even have a chance of winning one. You know?
That would be cool.
That would be dope.
That would be awesome.
I would love to see that.
I like the Buffalo Bills. I always have.
I've always had a lot of respect for the Bills.
Yeah, me too. They seem like a team that just never can get to that next level. You know, they're good, but they're just not good enough. It's kind of like the Broncos in the 80s.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. They're like Rodney Dangerfield. They don't get no respect. You know.
Yeah, I gotta run.
Oh, okay.
I shall return.
Quick break.
Yep. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries, bud.
A minute.
But while we got this going here, see. Oh, Harrison. Hey, buddy. Thank you for watching. I'm not sure if that's you or if that's Luke still hopping in here. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So, just letting y'all know here, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a couple of new pages, a couple of new outlets, social media-wise. Going to be starting a actual dedicated Leap Twitter page, Instagram page, to go along with the cornucopia of stuff that we have right now between the Twitch and the TikTok and everything else. So I will probably start throwing links to that up here soon. And also here, hopefully in the next couple of, well, hopefully maybe in the next month or so, depending on how quickly we go, the aesthetic of the podcast, you know, how it looks to you guys while we're doing it is probably going to be changing. And change it for the better, you know, actually start like increasing up on the production value and actually making it look like a real show and not make it look like, you know, some backdoor, you know, no, not backdoor. That's going a little too far, but you know, not making it look all haggard here. And also hopefully here, in the semi-near future, we'll have hopefully a new location to be doing this too. and hopefully something a little bit more permanent, which will help out a lot because then we'll be able to actually, set things up and have it to where there's some production value on that end and make the show a lot better because, obviously we've been kind of flying by the seat of our pants. And while things have gotten a lot better over the last few weeks with the hiccups that we've had, we definitely constantly improving, guys. That's been kind of the goal here is that we constantly each week we want to try to find a way to improve, however that may end up being. So, thank you guys who have been on here. Thank you for being patient with us. Please be patient with us. Honestly, I know this year has been kind of a fluke. We've missed a couple of weeks because of technical issues, the old laptop going down, so we had to get a new one, and all of that. But I think the goal is here that within the next few months and possibly going into next season, we're going to have what's going to end up being like a real podcast here. It's not going to be just us either sitting in a basement and looking how we do, maybe, we're not going to be no Pat McAfee or Joe Rogan or anything like that quite yet, but that's the goal, is to get it to where we actually can make it look like that. But yeah, I know Timmy's going to be back here soon, and then we will be diving into the next bit here. Oh yes, we're going to have to do that because it's close to the end of hour one. Here, let me stand up here and let you sneak in here.
Everybody.
Wow. All right, so now that we're back in here, let's go ahead and let's dive into Pick'ems.
Pick'ems!
Starting things off, we'll go ahead. Now, mind you, yes, I'm going to acknowledge this right away. Because we missed the 1 week and we started some stuff late, these records, I know a lot of people are going to, the statistic junkies out there are going to be looking at it like, oh, that can't be right. There's been more games than that. Well, there's been more games than that. We've missed some stuff, okay? Like I was just saying, we've been spending a lot of this time flying by the seat of our pants. So, current records right now. I am currently 28-28, dead even. Really shocked that I'm even at that. And then Timmy here is at 26-30.
Yeah!
It's been a bit of a rough year.
Awful.
This has been one
Nothing makes any sense anymore to me.
Honestly, same. It has been one.
Stop the insanity!
This has been one of those years that has been like a literal what the fuck.
Oh, it's completely a what the fuck. I mean, none of this makes any sense to me at all. It's been one of the weirdest football seasons I can ever remember. This is probably the weirdest one.
This is definitely one of the weirdest ones I think I've ever experienced. And
yeah, hopefully we never experience it again. That's all I can say. Next year is going to be even weirder, though, because think about all the players that are going to be on other teams.
Oh, I know, and we've talked about that a lot throughout this year. Like, there's a lot of guys that I see that are probably going to end up, not being. They're definitely not going to be where they were this year. That's for damn sure. Like, True. And the thing is there's some guys that. There's some people that, like, there's a couple of guys that, like, you kind of expect, okay, they're not going to be where they're going to be, like, but then you got guys like Aaron Rodgers where, like, okay, we all kind of know he's not going to, like, the only way that he and Adams are going to stay in Green Bay is if Green Bay wins a title, and even then, that's a bit of a stretch.
Right.
But then, like, a lot of people are trying to say that Russell Wilson is not trying to leave Seattle. Where I see Russell Wilson.
I would leave Seattle in a minute if they got like if they got like a halfway decent offensive line or running game. Maybe I would stay, but
the only thing he has is he's got that receiving core.
Right,
he's got some great receivers.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it. That's all he's got.
He's got no running game whatsoever.
No running game, no
I mean,
no real defense. Like, the Legion of Boom is dead. Like, I
Yeah.
called it at the beginning of the year, guys. The Legion of Boom is dead.
Yep. Bobby Wagner's still good.
Well, yeah, he's still one
But
of the
that's
best
all
middle
they-
linebackers in the league, but that's it.
That's it.
That's all they got.
Yep.
You know? But yeah, Pick'em's here. Starting off with the Thursday night game going on tomorrow. We got the Cowboys going into New Orleans.
Ooh.
Yeah, that should be an interesting game because that is also the return of Taysom Hill.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
Taysom Hill's going to be starting for.
Doesn't Taysom Hill? Doesn't that sound like a sitcom or something like that?
that kind of sounds like a weird little like
Shampoo
no.
company. Taysom.
No, I was gonna say it kind of sounds like a bit of like a soap opera, but not
Yeah.
like the daytime soap opera, like
Yeah,
Days of Our Lives.
exactly.
That kind of seems like a more of like a later version of it,
What
like a
Fox used to
90210.
do, like
Oh God, yeah, like a Gossip Girl, like or
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Gilmore Girls.
Welcome to Taysom Hill. You know, like some
Exactly.
stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah, Taysom Hill.
Uh,
I'd still go in Dallas. I think
Same.
Dallas is
I'm gonna
win.
go with
I
Dallas.
didn't even didn't have to think about that one too hard.
Well, the next game is going to be one we're going to have to think about here. First game I got here on the Sunday slate is the Giants going into Miami.
Ugh.
And Daniel Jones is out with a neck injury.
Oh, that's a big surprise.
R-
I mean, the Giants have been injured so much this season. It's like basically they can't get healthy to save their lives.
You know what's kind of a shame though is that they've won games. Like they're 4-7. Like, which doesn't
not
mean they've won a
awful.
ton of games, but like they're not going to have a good enough draft pick, in my opinion. They're probably going to be a top 10, but
Yeah.
like that's really about the extent of it. And it's like
That's
you guys need a better draft pick.
Yeah,
But then again,
exactly.
so does Miami. Like
Yeah.
this is kind of a thing of this is a showing of two teams that should be playing for a draft spot. But you know they're not going to do that.
Oh no.
You know, one of these, you know, there's a couple of these teams that are like, we still got a shot, man. And it's like, no, you
No,
guys
yeah,
should be playing
yeah.
for your future, not
Yeah.
playing for the now, because the now you're not going to make it.
No.
Like, sorry, Miami. Do you guys really think that with Tua as your number 2, that defense is going to hold you enough to get past the Chiefs or the
No.
Chargers or the Bills
No.
or the Pats?
No.
Nope. And then the Giants.
No.
You guys can't even get past anybody in your own division right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's just
stop
sad.
it. Stop it.
I gotta go Miami.
You know what? I'm going to go with Miami too, and it's basically because it's one of those
At home.
flip a fucking coin. Yeah, they got the home field. That's
Yeah,
really about
that's
it.
about it.
Next game, Tampa Bay going to Atlanta. That's
Tampa Bay.
yeah.
I don't
there's-
think you even have to think about that.
There's
for a minute.
not a lot of discussion that needs to go into that one.
No.
Here's one that's going to be a toughie, though. However, I do kind of think I know who's going to win it. The Chargers going into Cincinnati.
Ooh,
Right. That's
that
going to
is
be a good
tough.
game.
That is gonna be a really good game.
I'm taking Cincy,
Yeah,
but
me too. Still,
I that's
could
one of
go
those
either
ones.
way.
Yeah, it is. It can go either way because the Chargers have got a damn good team too.
Yep.
So the Chargers could win that game, but I think the home with the home field advantage, Cincy's gonna take that one.
probably.
This is one that's probably going to be pretty clean cut in my opinion, even though they're both bad teams. Philly going into MetLife to take on the Jets.
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
that's like a stink festival in hell. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Philly because
Yeah.
Philly has the better team.
Yeah.
You taking Philly as
Yeah.
well? Okay.
They're a little better. I think their quarterback is better. I think Jalen Hurts is better than whoever is quarterbacking that team. That Jets team. Oh my God.
I don't even know if Zach Jones is even back from injury yet.
Zach Miller.
Zach Miller, yeah, that's it. Or Wilson, you mean. Zach Wilson. We both fucked that up. We
Yeah.
fucked that up.
Yeah, we are the motherfucking experts right here.
We are the true experts of
nothing.
de foosball.
Who's boss?
All right.
You know, like
Yeah, I don't know if Wilson's back though, because I know he was out for a few weeks.
I think he played a little bit last week
Okay.
because he had a touchdown.
Oh, okay. Then I guess he is
He
back.
had a running touchdown.
Well, I think that Philly has the more complete team,
Yeah.
and that's not saying much.
No. They have a better defense, I think, than the Jets do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, at this point, I mean, when it comes to dude, Alabama has a better overall team than the Jets right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, sorry, not sorry. Alabama, Georgia, Michigan. You could take one of those teams, plug them into the NFL, and they probably do better than what the Jets are doing right now. And I hate to say that because, like, you never want to say, oh, you know, the college programs can't compete. No, when it comes to the Jets, you could take those guys, put them in there, and they probably do just fine.
Lions probably too. Maybe not.
I don't know about the Lions. The Lions, I feel like, have just had some bad luck.
Well, they've had some bad juju. And I'm not talking to Schuster.
No. Arizona going into Chicago. I think Kyler's back for this one.
I'm going Arizona.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Arizona too. Because it's fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
Does Chicago...
Maybe he's still there. Keep him. I don't mind. You can have him all day long for all I care.
Right. I mean, well, I mean, you know what? As a fan of football, seeing what those guys are going through, I want to see him go. But I mean,
Yeah,
you
by
know,
the same token, being a Packer fan, yeah, keep him.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean,
right?
he'll be doing us a favor.
You guys are going to be doing us a favor.
yeah, you're doing a favor.
Speaking of teams in the North, oh goodness, my apologies,
of the
here, ladies
North.
and sirs. Minnesota is going to Detroit this week.
I gotta go Minnesota.
Yeah, we are not.
We're not playing. We're not jumping on the Lions band game anymore.
I have
Or
done
at
it,
least
I
I'm
think,
not.
4 times this year,
Yep.
and all 4 times
It
I have been burned. Well, technically, except for one.
was a tie.
Because of the tie. That was a 1 week. Technically, okay. Technically, now thinking about that, you and I each, okay, now I'm 28-28-1, you're 26-30-1, because I forgot to even account for that
cool.
tie. Because I had Detroit that week, you had Pittsburgh, and then they tied. So, we'll just have it to where, like, you know,
Yeah.
we'll just each have a
Sounds
tie
good.
on that. So, yeah, Minnesota beating Detroit, I think
yeah,
that's
no
pretty clean
brainer.
cut. Right, Minnesota is a much better team than Detroit. And God, I wish I could stop yawning.
Even without Dalvin Cook.
Well, yeah, because Kirk Cousins is still having a good year. Jefferson, Thielen, that defense. Minnesota's starting to pick up.
Oh yeah.
They started
Yeah.
off rough, but they're starting to pick up. So
Right.
I think that they're going to do all right there. Excuse me. Indianapolis going into Houston.
Indy.
Yeah, I'm going Indy. Like,
Not even thinking about.
yeah,
that.
Houston has found a way to win a couple of games this year, but I don't think it's enough to...
They still got a problem. Big problems.
Understatement of the goddamn
Big
century.
problems in little Houston.
Here's another interesting one.
Okay.
Washington going into Vegas.
I'm going Vegas. I just don't think that Washington has enough.
Well, Washington's on a 3-game win streak.
They are. I know. I just don't think that they have enough to overtake Las Vegas. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
You know, part of me wants, like, first instinct, it's like, go with Vegas. Like, Vegas has got the overall much more complete team. But there's that part of me that's like, Washington's kind of getting hot right now.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw somebody, you know how we've been saying that Houston is kind of the island of misfit toys?
Yep.
They were saying that the island of misfit toys technically is Washington right now. Because every single one, like when you look at it, Taylor Heineke was on 4 separate teams that got cut.
Yep.
Got cut from the XFL, and then now is a starter in the NFL. Antonio Gibson was originally a wide receiver who swapped positions to become a running back when he got drafted. Logan Thomas was originally a quarterback who converted to tight end.
What?
Yeah, I didn't even know
I
that.
had no idea.
And then McLaurin was I think it was the 12th or 13th wide receiver taken in his class. He was taken in the 3rd round. Nobody expected him to be any good, and he's a top 10, top 15 receiver, and one of the definitely the best receiver on that team.
I'm surprised they made him into a tight end.
What, Logan Thomas?
Yeah.
He willingly converted.
Oh, okay.
He converted because he knew that he was big for the position, and he knew he could play it. And, you know, outside of the fact that Logan Thomas has been injured, he's a great tight end. He's a great player.
Is.
Like
he is.
He and like so like when that guy made that whole thing about Washington kind of being the island of misfit toys of the NFL, I'm like,
that makes sense.
I'm like, damn, dude, like you kind of just took my whole thing on that and just flipped it on its fucking head.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
That's
And
true. I like Washington. I'm a big fan. And they're starting to do better. And I think a lot of it has to do with Gibson's a little bit more healthy. Logan Thomas is back. You know.
And Heineke has found his stride.
Yeah, Heineke's done really well.
Yeah, he's definitely found his stride now, and I think he's done a damn good job. You know what, Bucket? I'm going Washington on that.
You know, yeah, I think I'm going Washington.
You're going to go with Washington too? Okay.
Kind of, you know.
Yeah, like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
I've been wanting them to do good, so
Yeah.
I guess we'll see here. Let's see. Well, the live is...
Hopefully there's no gridlock.
Right. Jacksonville going into Los Angeles to take on the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams.
I am not even going to...
Rams.
The Rams.
Yep.
Don't overthink that one, okay?
Yep.
Yes, I know the Rams have lost 3 straight. They're going to win this game.
Yeah.
San Francisco going into Seattle.
Ugh. That one's a little bit tougher. I think I'm going Seattle. I mean, wait, no. I'm going San Francisco.
I am also going to go with San Francisco.
Yeah, I just don't think that...
Seattle is just not good.
Wreck.
They're just not good this year.
No.
And it's pretty sad in all honesty, because I figured Seattle was going to be better. Even though the NFC West, I mean, is... Well, I mean, the AFC West and the NFC West are definitely the 2 most stacked divisions in the league this year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when it comes to overall. But, yeah, I think San Francisco has just got a much more complete team. Oh, God. I don't know why I'm so tired right now. Jesus Christ, even after that coffee. Baltimore going into Pittsburgh.
Baltimore.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, guys.
Yeah.
Baltimore is going to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's wins this year.
Bad teams?
Well, okay,
Well,
when you
not
look
really.
at it, they beat the Bills.
Bills, yeah.
But yet, they also tied the fucking Lions.
So you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, like, honestly, man, it just kind of depends on... It's going to strictly depend on whether or not Ben cannot screw the pooch enough against that Ravens defense, and whether or not those skill position players in Pittsburgh can give them enough. Because it's a shame because Pittsburgh's defense is fantastic, but
Oh yeah.
they can't get enough time off the field.
Well, and T.J. Lang's injured again. I don't know if he's coming back this week.
Oh, damn. Well, also, when you look at it, Lamar Jackson is he's an MVP candidate. He's having a great year this year.
He is having a good year. When he isn't missing games.
Well, right.
Not one game, I mean.
The next two, I feel, are going to be a tough one to go and talk about here. So the last game for the Sunday slate is Denver going into KC. I think Kansas City is going to win that.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And I just want to go ahead and say this, man. I like the fact that Kansas City is finally starting to pick it back up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody expected Kansas City to be one of those top, probably one of the top 4 teams in the NFL. They went to back-to-back Super Bowls, and they are... I like the fact that they're finally kind of seem to knock whatever rust or whatever it is that they had going on. It seems like they've kind of gotten past it. So, and that's nice.
Yeah, that is good. 7-4 right now.
Yeah, they are currently 7-4, and atop their division.
Yeah,
so
they'll be 8-4.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to beat Denver, even though Denver's
defense is really good.
Yeah, Denver's done well. Well, I mean, even their offense has done pretty well. Overall as a team, even without Von Miller there, after trading him away, they've still done damn well. But the last game I got here, the Monday night game, this is probably the most crucial game this is probably the most crucial game with the biggest playoff implications of this whole week. New England going into Buffalo.
Oh, completely. I'm going. You know what? I'm going for an upset here. I'm going New England.
I hate to say it, but same.
New England just looks too good right now.
New England is hot.
Yeah, the running game is good. Mac Jones is really coming on.
He's catching his stride.
Yeah.
The Patriots' run game is doing exactly like what Belichick always does. They always have that one guy who you otherwise would never hear about.
Rhamondre.
Rhamondre Stevenson just fucking crushing everybody. That defense is crushing people.
I knew he was going to do well. I saw...
There's always one. There's always one guy on that Patriots running back room who ends up going off every single year. And it turns out that this guy, it happens to be the guy.
Yeah. It isn't, everybody thought it was going to be Damian Harris.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, Damian Harris. I thought Harris was going to do good this year, too.
Yeah.
Because, looking at the last couple of years, he was the one who had the most experience in that room.
Right.
So you just kind of figured, all right, well, this is probably going to be the more clean-cut option here, but turns out that's not the case.
I think that's one of the reasons they traded Sony Michel is that Stevenson did so well in the preseason that they thought...
They knew that he would be the guy that could... Oh, shoot, I totally forgot about... No, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just, I like Stevenson. I think he's going to be a good running back.
No, I think he's definitely a very good fit, especially within McCarthy's system. I think it's
Belichick?
The Belichick system. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's all good.
Working on almost hardly any sleep here, boys. It's been a long freaking couple of weeks. Something we totally forgot to do, and we'll do it right now. Underrated killer of the week.
Underrated killer of the week.
This week, I'm pretty sure anybody who knows anything about what we're doing here is going to know who we're going with. Leonard Fournette had 100 yards, 30 receiving yards, 4 total touchdowns.
Jeez.
He just went off.
Yeah.
He just went off. And I think everybody was kind of the only reason why I have him as underrated is because everybody thought he was going to do good at the beginning of this year.
And
he didn't for that first 5-6 weeks. He didn't do fuck all, and then now he's starting to pick up. And I really wish that I would not have dropped him. It's just another one of those guys I wish I wouldn't have dropped.
I wish I would have taken him in the round before where he went, because the guy I got isn't doing anything. I think it was Judy.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Judy.
Yeah.
Damn it, H.
What?
He's just going and putting an underrated killer of the week.
Underrated killer of the week.
Fucking guy. Fucking love you, mate. Thank you for always being there for us here, good buddy. But yeah, like I see... It's kind of strange to see Leonard Fournette, like, I wasn't sure exactly what he was going to be able to bring this year. Mm-hmm. I was hoping it was going to be something good because, like, when I drafted Fournette, he was like my RB 3 or 4. You know what I mean?
So it wasn't
it wasn't like he was crucial.
Kind of like an afterthought more than.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and Chubb and Harris have both had good seasons for me.
Yeah.
So it's not like I necessarily needed to have him, but hell, if I could have had him playing in that game last week, I definitely wouldn't have lost. But yeah, what is it in the figgity fuck? Okay, that's ain't nothing. Well, no, it's just a weird system update dealio. So yeah, Leonard Fournette going ahead and stomping some ass last week, getting that underrated killer. Let's go ahead and dive into topic of the week here, guys. The topic of the week is we're going to go over the current standings and playoff picture going right now. Now, there's a lot of teams that right now we see that are on top of their division and that are at the top of their division and possibly making a conference run that are pretty clean cut. Okay, like looking at the NFC, the current division leaders, it's very clean cut. Okay, Green Bay's on top of the North. Tampa Bay is on top of the South, Dallas on top of the East, Arizona on top of the West. Outside of Arizona, I really didn't... Everybody else I kind of figured was going to be on that, you know. Yeah. I thought Washington might have been able to take the East, but it was all going to strictly depend on how Dak and that Dallas offense was going to do.
Oh, definitely.
You know, so... A lot of the usual suspects. And then when you look at the AFC, you know, Baltimore's winning the North, Tennessee's winning the South, New England's winning the East, and Kansas City's winning the West. The only team in that four that I thought was going to be different, and it's only by a one-game difference, is that Buffalo is the number one wild card. I thought they were going to be the number one in the East right now.
Oh, yeah, I thought so too.
You know, so really that's the only real difference. Now, that's not the stuff that we want to talk about here. Okay, we're not going to talk about the usual suspects. Everybody was expecting the Packers, Baltimore, Tennessee, Tampa Bay. Everybody was expecting these guys to make the playoffs, okay? Chances are a lot of those teams are going to be out here making Super Bowl runs. The part that we want to talk about is this wild card race. This wild card race is about to look nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So right now, for the NFC, the number one wild card spot goes to the Rams at 7-4. For the AFC, it's Buffalo also at 7-4. Both of those teams, makes perfect sense. Both of those teams, if they weren't in that wild card spot, they'd be at the top of their freaking division.
Oh, definitely.
So, you know, that's not really what's looking crazy here. Going into the AFC side of things for a second here, there is a lot, I won't necessarily say confusion, but there's some teams here that I did not expect to even be close to being playing for a playoff spot.
Oh, no.
Like right now, the current three teams for the wild card is Buffalo at the number one, Cincy at the 2, and then the Chargers going and rounding out that last one. Cincy is a team, like we were talking before, they legitimately playoff ready. Because right now, they got a shot at making the playoffs.
Yep.
You know, so them going in there, they'll probably be playing like a New England or a Tennessee.
Yep.
Do they got the ability to get past those guys? Maybe. Like, if they were to play Tennessee, especially if, like, Derrick Henry doesn't come back, Cincy's going to walk all over Tennessee.
Oh, I think so.
You know, New England, probably not so much.
No.
But that would be a great game to see
Wouldn't
Mac
that-
Jones
yeah.
against Burrow.
Yep.
But,
And who knows? Who knows? I mean, depending on where it is, where the game's played. Obviously, you played at Foxborough.
you're right. Like, it's... yeah, unless Baltimore totally screws the pooch and Cincy somehow finds a way to win out and win the division, I would see that happening there. But, like, I like the fact of Cincy being there. But looking at the other AFC teams, the AFC wild card race is going to be a lot tighter than the NFC,
Oh yeah.
in my opinion. Because looking at this, these are all teams that are either 6-5 or 6-6. Okay, Chargers are at 6-5 at that last wild card spot. Then going into the contenders, we got Cleveland at 6-6, Indianapolis at 6-6, and then Denver and Las Vegas are both at 6-5. Now, mind you,
Wow.
Las Vegas, they're at the bottom of the AFC West right now. But if they're able to find a way to win out, same thing with any one of these other guys, they find a way to win enough games. And
You
a
might
couple
be
of
in
these, and a team like the Chargers ends up faltering, any one of those guys could sneak into the wild card spot.
Oh, completely. That'd
And-
be pretty interesting to.
Well, the one that I thought would be doing better, like I seriously thought that Cleveland was going to be the top team in the AFC North this year.
I think a lot of it had to do with Chubb being out.
Chubb being out, Baker being down for a couple of
Hunt.
games, Hunt being down, Landry being down.
Trading Beckham,
See, trading Beckham, I don't
it
think
didn't really have that. Big.
it didn't have that huge of an impact, in my opinion, because
No.
their offense was still doing the same exact things. You know,
Yeah,
like
just run the ball and.
yeah, I didn't see a big difference there.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Johnson didn't do a good job when he was there.
Oh
I
no, he
mean,
did a fantastic job. He had good numbers when he was starting there.
Yep.
To me, I feel like the injuries have hurt them when it's come to key games. So, like, Cleveland losing to Cincy was kind of huge, you know.
it was
Cleveland,
huge.
Cleveland losing that game to Baltimore was pretty fucking big, you know. Like, those division losses are the ones that are kind of hurting them right now.
And that San Diego game, too. I think,
Yep, the
really
San
hurt.
Diego game. Oh, well, I mean the LA game.
LA.
Yeah, I know. It's going to take me a while to get over that one, too. It's the same thing with frickin' Vegas and Oakland. It's going to take a while for us to get used to that. But, like,
I still call them the San Diego Chargers.
it's going to take a while to get over that.
And Oakland Raiders.
Right.
I
Like,
still
it's
do
gonna,
that.
it's going to take a while to get
Yeah.
past that.
Exactly.
But, like, when I look at the AFC teams here, it's like, man, any one of these guys could really try to push themselves into a playoff spot. And in all reality, the only two teams on the AFC side that I feel maybe should back off a touch to maybe help play for a draft position a little bit, maybe help their trade capital up a little bit, would be Denver and Vegas. And the only reason why I say that is because Denver, after trading Von Miller, they're going to have some trade capital. Maybe they can go ahead and try to, I don't want to say they want to give up on Teddy, but like, maybe try to find a QB of the future, maybe try to add some weapons, maybe add that person to replace Von Miller. And then when it comes to Vegas, keep Carr. By all means, keep Carr. He is doing a great job for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
But you need receiver help.
Yeah, which is really weird. I mean, because they have, like, some pretty interesting receivers in.
Well, Renfro's having a pretty good year.
Yeah,
and,
Edwards has had a few good games.
right, and you know, Josh Jacobs is definitely a good running back. You don't
Yeah.
want to get rid of that.
And Fats Waller. I mean,
Oh my God, dude! No! Ladies and sirs, I am so sorry that I am laughing at that. I am going to burn in hell for that. Oh. Why would you do that? Oh my god. A little bit funny. It's not funny. It's a little bit funny. It's not fucking funny. It's not funny. It's terrible.
I just wanted to name drop Fats Waller somewhere.
Yeah, and that set me on a whole other thing there. But no, I think they need receiver help.
Yeah.
You know, after losing Henry Ruggs and on that whole thing. And then I could see them wanting to play for that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I could see them wanting to play for that position. And honestly, it wouldn't hurt. Like, you know, you don't got, like, with everything that's happened with Las Vegas this year, with Gruden going out, with the Henry Ruggs thing, like, the fact that Vegas has been able to keep themselves above 500 and possibly playing for a playoff, very impressive.
Yeah.
That is damn fucking impressive for considering what that organization has gone through this year.
They could have just completely imploded.
Right.
And everybody would have thought nothing of it.
Yeah, nobody would have blamed it. Like, right. I certainly wouldn't have.
Extenuating circumstances beyond any sort of... Yeah, I mean... And it's funny because the Raiders are just such an unlucky team. You know, they...
In recent memory, yeah. Like, they're another organization I've always had a lot of respect for, and I've always wanted to see them do well.
Well, they could never get over the hump with Pittsburgh. In the 70s, I think they did once in 77, but, I mean... Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's see. What was the last time they even...
Well, 80s, probably.
Didn't they
or 90s.
Yeah, I was going to say, they won a Super Bowl in the 90s, didn't they?
I think, 2000 maybe?
Yeah, it was later 90s, I think. I'd have to...
Been.
I don't know. We'd have to take a look. Like, honestly, that's kind of slipping me at this point.
Yeah.
But, I mean... You see, the Raiders right now, I don't mind seeing them, I don't want to necessarily say do bad, but, like, it's understandable.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely an understandable thing if they would have faltered after everything that happened.
Oh, yeah, completely.
And the fact that they're not, and they're still playing for that, like you said, is very impressive. Denver, you know, they're playing about what I was expecting them to. I think that they need to play better. I think they need to play for, in my opinion, I think both of those teams can kind of play off and try to play for a playoff.
You said they were 6-5?
Both of them are 6-5.
Okay.
Yeah, Vegas and Denver. Indy
should be doing better.
Indy is a team that I expected to be doing better.
Oh yeah, a lot better.
And
because their defense last year was really good, their offensive line was really good.
Their defense this year is really good. Their offensive line this year is probably one of the best in the league. Right. Jonathan Taylor is, in my opinion, probably one of the main front runners for the MVP right now.
Completely.
Like, Carson Wentz has done all right the last few games. Like, it kind of took him a little bit to find his stride.
I think I would, if I was Indy, I'd try to look for a new quarterback. I don't think Carson Wentz is...
He's not the answer.
No. He's not going to take you to that next level. No,
he's not. And I think this year kind of goes and shows it because, like, there's been a few games where he's done all right. Mm-hmm. But, like, honestly, it's been more the running game and that defense that has been bailing them out. And in my opinion, Indy is a team right now, like, I'm not going to lie, like, looking at guys like Russell Wilson and Rodgers, Indy is a team that either one of those two were to step on, they're immediately a championship contender.
I think Indy needs some better receivers. I think Pittman could be good. T.Y. Hilton just can't stay healthy.
He's at the tail end of his career.
And they got Pascal, I think.
Yeah, Pascal. If you see, here's the thing though: wherever Rodgers or Wilson ends up, they're going to end up bringing people with. So, like, wherever Rodgers goes, I'm...
Could you imagine an Indy, Aaron Rodgers thing? That would be pretty cool.
See, I still kind of hold on to...
Pittsburgh?
I think it's going to be either Pittsburgh or Cleveland, personally.
I would like to see...
I could see Indy being a team that Rodgers could go to, but then again, I could also see Wilson going there. And either one of those guys, if they go over there, like if Aaron goes over to one of those teams, he's pulling Adams with him.
Could you imagine Russell Wilson in Indy?
That's the one that kind of I feel like might make more sense.
Because, I mean, the crazy thing is Taylor is an alumni of Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So is Russell Wilson. That would be a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, and I could see, like, Lockett possibly going and jumping ship and going over the frickin'
Is
Indy
he a
with him.
free agent?
I think he is about to be a free agent. Either that or that would have to depend on the contract. But like, I could see like hell even looking at who's going to be in free agency. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not sure entirely who's going to be in free agency, but like, if there's any bigger name receivers that are out there, they're like, hey man, I got a chance to go play at a potential championship team in Indy right there with Russell Wilson or with Rodgers.
Yep,
I'd take it. I know I would.
Oh, definitely.
But yeah, to dive into the NFC side of things, this is definitely going to be a clash of worst to mediocre teams. I would just say, welcome to Mehsville, because that is pretty much where this is going to go, okay? Obviously, in that number one wild card spot, we got the Rams. I don't see them moving out of it.
No.
Okay, going from there right now, the top two teams that are going to be taking the second and third wild card spot, we got San Francisco at 6-5. You know, they're doing pretty good.
Yep.
You know, I could see them making the playoffs. And then in that final spot, we got Minnesota. Minnesota has a shot to play for a playoff spot this year. And in my opinion, out of all of these teams with the meh records here, well, okay, with like when it comes to the AFC side, Cleveland and Indy are better than their records go ahead and portray.
Completely.
When it comes to the NFC side of things, Minnesota is the only team out of this NFC teams that I feel are better than their record portrays.
That's true.
Minnesota is a much more complete. They are a much more complete team.
Then San Francisco is definitely.
In my opinion, yeah, they have a better quarterback. They have a better offense overall. Defense, I'd say, is probably they're probably even.
Yeah,
I'd say
that
San
would make
Francisco and
sense.
Minnesota are pretty even defense-wise.
Kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, middle of the road. I would say that. But then looking at the contenders for the NFC, this is where things get a little bit fucky. Because there's some teams here that you really wouldn't expect to be sitting here. Okay, like number one, Washington, 5-6. Now, mind you, okay, all the teams here have only got 5 wins. Okay, and they are either at 6 or 7 losses. So Washington at 5-6, Atlanta at 5-6, New Orleans at 5-6, Philadelphia and Carolina are both at 5-7.
Wow. That would be insane if any of those made it. You know, Washington I could kind of see.
The only one that I could see even coming close to stealing one of those spots would be Washington.
Oh, yeah.
And it's only because of how hot Washington is going. Like,
Right
Atlanta,
now, yeah.
they are not. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, they might be 5-6 right now.
But they're not.
They are
that
not.
great of a team.
They are not a good team.
No.
Their defense is terrible. Their
Their
offense.
offensive line is terrible.
Matt Ryan's not having that great of a year.
Oh,
the
no.
only reason why Atlanta is 5-6 right now, in my opinion, is because of Cordero Patterson.
Oh, I agree.
That's the only reason.
It isn't because of the Pits.
No. Fuck no. People are still fucking going on, oh, he's the best
Kyle Pitts is a unicorn.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts is going to be the next Tony Gonzalez.
No, Kyle Pitts is a dodo bird.
Okay, no, Kyle Pitts might be the next Tony Gonzalez.
But
In
not
5
this year.
years. Not this year, he ain't.
Nope.
Maybe 5 years down the line,
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe if you get some wide receivers that are halfway decent.
Get somebody who's actually willing to show out and
Yeah.
play, unlike, a certain somebody. Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley, believe it or not.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley. Biggest fucking joker in the goddamn league this year, in my opinion. Biggest bust. Biggest fantasy bust. Bigger receiver bust. Everybody expected Calvin Ridley to be... He's going to be a top 5 receiver like he was last year.
I knew.
Where
it
is he
wasn't
at now?
gonna happen.
Where is he at now? Is he at the bottom of the pile of all receivers in the league? Oh, yeah, that's right. He is. Because he hasn't done fuck all. Okay? Now, another team that I feel on paper is slightly better than their record portrays is New Orleans.
Yeah.
They
I think
still got a good defense. They still have one of the better running games in football.
If Michael Thomas hadn't have
Decided to not play.
not got that surgery, if he had gotten the surgery earlier, he would be playing probably.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, he
Yeah.
made the choice to not come and play.
Right, exactly.
Like, he pulled a Scottie Pippen in '98. Is what he did. He pulled the
that's
Scottie.
That's a good analogy.
Because Scottie Pippen did the same exact thing. But the thing is that Scottie Pippen was pissed off at the organization, whereas Michael Thomas was just doing it so that way he could just sit back and collect a paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
Scottie Pippen did what he did because he wasn't getting paid. Michael
Right.
Thomas is doing what he's doing because he is getting
getting
paid. He's going to get paid whether he's on IR or not.
Which is ridiculous.
It's fucking selfish and stupid. But when it comes to New Orleans, their team, I think their team is better than their record portrays, but they're still, I feel, a more mediocre team because of the lack of receiver help.
Injuries.
Jameis. Jameis going down, which Jameis was kind of up and down, but also, like, the quarterback position in New Orleans has been kind of up in the air since Drew left. Like, they said, and I was hoping that Jameis was going to do really good. Next year, going to be his make or break year. Mm-hmm. That's going to be his make or break on whether or not he even...
So in my opinion, I think this was a year for Jameis's make or break year personally for me, because he really didn't show anything this year too much to me as far as, he had a couple games where he played pretty good. But
I say out of the few games that we got out of him, there were some games where he completely was just classic Jameis Winston.
and then 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, Jameis Winston.
You see, that's the thing, is it's like, what side are you going to get? Are you going to get that 30 touchdown potential Jameis Winston, or are you going to get that 30 interception potential?
It's kind of like Nicolas Cage to me. Because there are some really good Nicolas Cage movies. And then there's some awful Nicolas Cage movies. So I think Jameis Winston is the Nicolas Cage of the NFL.
Oh my God! I mean, there's some moments where you got you get caught. Hey, I liked Face Off.
I did
Okay,
too.
that movie was dope. Okay, you got your Face Off, your Con Air, your National Treasures. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
good movies. And then you have that one where
The mandolin.
God,
Colonel somebody's mandolin or Captain somebody's mandolin. Oh, that was awful.
I was thinking more about the one, I can't remember the name of it. I only saw it once and I thought it was fucking awful. People try to say it's like this underrated treasure, but it's really not. He's basically just this fucking, he's kind of like a mobster type dude, but all he does is he drives around in a car and he just goes completely crazy and runs a shit ton of people over. It was something that was made 10 fucking years ago.
Interesting. I had no idea.
It was awful. He basically spends the entire, half the fucking movie sitting in the driver's seat of a fucking car just going all, for it was fucking terrible. So yeah, you can have Con Air or you can have that. Choose wisely. But looking at the final two teams here, and these are teams that they're not going to make the playoffs. They're just not. I don't see it happening. It's going to be a goddamn miracle if they do. But we got Philly and Carolina here at 5-7.
Yeah, no. They're not going to make it.
These are both teams that I feel right now, like Denver and Las Vegas,
Should
be playing for a playoff spot.
spot.
You guys should not be playing for the playoffs this year. You guys should be playing for your future in the next couple of years, especially Philly.
Yep.
Especially Philly, because Philly, while they have some great talent there, they got Devonta Smith. He's probably going to be a great receiver for them. Okay,
They got Slate.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. Slate's doing good. Jalen Hurts, I feel, is doing an all right job.
He's doing better than I thought he was going to.
Same. Like I still don't think he's a QB messiah, but like he's still having a good year. Their defense is doing all right. Why not try to play for a better draft pick and try to go ahead and get yourself another defensive guy? Maybe try to go ahead and get your quarterback another weapon with running backs.
Running back. Miles Sanders is just not
garbage.
Good.
He's garbage.
Yeah, he is.
He's trash. Like the guy isn't good. Like I'm sorry, but he's not. Maybe
3 touchdowns total this year?
Something like that. Yeah. It's
awful.
not a lot. But also the thing is that even that one year where he had like 1,000 yards and like 7 or 8 touchdowns, and everybody was like, "Oh, there's the running back problem solved in Philly." It's like, no, he was just kind of riding the coattails off of that Super Bowl caliber line that they had.
Yep,
that's all that was.
Yeah,
okay.
And then that line went south
real fucking quick.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that'd be another thing. Like, if you don't want to go ahead and use your draft pick on a receiver or a running back right away, go ahead and get yourself an offensive lineman. Yeah. Nobody is going to doubt you for picking up an offensive lineman for your quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody in Philly is going to be mad at that. Nobody in the NFL is going to be mad at that. Unless the dude turns out to be a total bust and somebody that they could have gotten ends up becoming a fucking Hall of Famer. Yeah. But, like, to me, it's like if you...
Kind of like how we could have got CeeDee Lamb.
We could, you know what's fucked up, dude, is we could have got CeeDee Lamb, we could have got Jerry Jeudy.
I think I would have rather had Lamb over Jeudy.
Same, but either one of them would have been good in that position.
Oh yeah.
But like to me, it's like any team, like if you have a young quarterback that you feel is your QB of the future, in my opinion, you need to get that guy weapons. But the number one priority that you should always do. You need a line to protect them. You need to try to build that line up to be the best that you could possibly make it. And right now, Philly, they have a okay line. Like, they're not bad, but, like, they could definitely be better.
Upgrade.
They could definitely upgrade. And then looking at Carolina, Carolina started off this season. They started off... and
their defense was
outstanding.
Smoking.
They started off with that 3-0. They were doing so well. And then they just fucking flopped. And now they have a shot at playing. But okay. Carolina, I don't see Carolina getting past. Because, like, right now, like, looking at it, Atlanta and New Orleans are above them. So chances are, one of those teams has got a better shot than Carolina does.
Right.
But Carolina is one of those teams that, in my opinion, they're going to probably end up having maybe a top 10 spot in the draft.
Yeah.
But Cam being back, I don't know what the deal is going to be with Cam moving forward. I don't know what the deal is with McCaffrey moving forward is. They got some decent receivers. They got some good guys on their defense. But, like, honestly...
What do they do with Sam Darnold? I really don't know.
Yeah, they did give up a bit to get him.
Yeah.
You know what I honestly would do if I was the GM in Carolina right now? I honestly, when it hit the end of the season, I would be looking at this. That is a team that, in my opinion, needs to do a fire sale.
Oh, yeah.
It has hit that point because, okay, looking at it like this, McCaffrey still has a ton of value on his name, right?
Right.
Why not try to trade him off to a team that could use a guy like him right away?
Yeah. Maybe get a second round pick. I don't think he'd get a first round. It's too injury prone.
It would depend on the team.
Yeah.
It would depend on the team. Like,
if it's the Houston Texans, well, their GM would just be like, yeah, let's do that.
No, he isn't going to bite on fucking anything. Just looking at how they handled the whole they're not going to fucking bite on anything at this point. I think right now Houston is just like dug their heels in and they're just kind of like, no,
I'm not doing nothing.
I'm not going to do anything you tell me to do. They don't want to do nothing.
Well, I was just thinking because of the whole D-Hop trade and how awful that was. I mean,
I think that because of what happened with D-Hop and with them with them trading him away, them letting what happened with fucking JJ, I feel like they're digging their heels in. But like if I was Carolina, I would like looking at some of these teams like hell, Philly. If Philly were to trade for Christian McCaffrey, that would immediately change that team.
Oh, completely.
Immediately. Like, hell, looking at, like, Buffalo. If Buffalo were to go ahead and scoop up fucking Christian McCaffrey, instant fucking Super Bowl contender.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
If he was able to stay out.
If he was able... Well, I feel like Buffalo would be a better fit for a Christian McCaffrey than Carolina is.
Oh, yeah.
Because, for one...
They wouldn't need...
They wouldn't need him to be getting 40 touches a fucking game.
Oh, no.
Like Carolina does. Carolina, in my opinion, I feel like they should trade away their stock.
Especially DJ Moore.
Yeah. Trade that shit away. Get as much capital as you possibly could. Free up your cap and start... I don't want to necessarily say a soft rebuild. Like, you guys need to go into a hard rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys got some great players on your team, but do you guys really think that you have the ability to just sit there and draft and/or sign enough guys to throw you guys into the Super Bowl contention right now? I don't think so.
I don't think
For me, I would say trade away the top, get what you can out of it, and
move on.
Try to build your next team. You got and that would be a good thing to keep fucking Cam for another couple of years, because Cam is going to screw the pooch,
right?
You don't have to. You're not going to have to pay him a shit ton.
No.
He could go ahead and get you maybe a potential couple of top 5 fucking draft picks from his play alone right now.
Yeah.
And then you can go and start building you can maybe build something there. Because Carolina, they need to trade Christian McCaffrey, get that next guy. They need to go ahead and remove DJ Moore, let him go to a team that can actually win something and maybe get their next Steve Smith. Maybe try to find their next, trade away Sam Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
While there's still some value on him, maybe get something where maybe you can get your next Luke Kuechly. You know what I mean? Like, get those guys that are going to help your organization really win.
That makes sense.
And, not worry so much about trying to make it to the playoffs without the talent that's needed to really compete. Like, it's just... Carolina's kind of in shambles right now. And there needs to be a change.
I think so.
But yeah, I'd say we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this up here because we've already got close to 2 hours here. So yeah, that's how that's looking, guys. I think honestly, the way that I have the playoff picture looking right now, remove the contenders from the field, that's probably how this is going to end up looking. So, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Dallas, and Arizona at the top. Rams, San Francisco, Minnesota in the wild cards for the NFC. Baltimore, Tennessee, New England, and KC in their respective spots, Buffalo, Cincy, and the Chargers in the wild card for the AFC. Maybe seeing Cleveland or Indy trying to intercept one of those spots from those guys, but that's a tall order at this point, and we'll kind of see where that's going. So yeah, just go ahead and wrap things up here, guys. Like I was saying before, when Timmy was off there, we're going to be starting a Twitter and Instagram here soon, hopefully next couple of weeks, and depending on how quickly we're able to get into a new permanent location, we'll be able to start. I was already talking with our buddy Harrison here. We're going to start doing stuff to help with the production value here a lot. And, so please be patient on that because, it is coming. We are working on it. It just takes time. But on that note, definitely want to thank all you that are going and checking us out here. Be sure to check us out on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Also, if you guys listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you guys get it, I want to thank you